Previously on Automotive Tales.
These guys are, they're like, what's that? What's that? These are giving,
Right, hopefully you can hear me over the noise. We are finding our way into circuit for the actual race. It is Saturday, it is race day. They've got a Porsche Cup race on, and we're going to try and find our slot for the whole day. So, as is standard, it is utter chaos coming into the race, massively disorganised. It's not like they've had many years to practice this, only 100 so far. So we are getting ready for the race, and we're in the AC enclosure, and this is what it's all about. So the race has started. I'm not sure if you can actually hear me over all the noise because I'm walking down the back of Pit Straight. So we've got racing over to my left, your right, and we've got the airport with the helicopters taking off over here, and it is chaos. Chaos off the track and on the track. So we've seen more cars out, I think, than I've ever seen before in a dry race at the beginning, including the car we were rooting for, car 14, the Nielsen racing car, which has got the name of some of my colleagues on and my father on. Sadly, an instant up at the Dunlop Bridge took that car clean out of the race in the early session. And as you can probably see in the clouds behind me, it looks like it's about to rain. So it's all going to get very, very interesting.
Il a été un peu bousculé parfois par ses adversaires, mais il a gardé son sang-froid. So Sebastian behind me in the number 8 Toyota goes back to the lead. Those four cars have stopped. We had a big crash for the Action Express racing car. Jack Aitken in the car for them. Dans 4 tours, il ne sera plus le pilote lanterne rouge. Et nous avons effectivement la lettre S pour numéro 14. Et si j'avais le droit de mettre
So we are well into the night race, and as predicted, the weather caused absolute chaos. So I think this is probably the least amount of green flag running we've had in a Le Mans race, as long as I can remember, certainly. So it's proven to be very, very interesting. We're back under safety car now as it's fully into the night. Looks like we're going to have a relatively dry night, but maybe some rain in the morning and certainly a bit of rain tomorrow afternoon before the race ends. So plenty more excitement to come. It's 3 a.m, so we're 11 hours into the race. I've just had to leave the ACO enclosure because they close at 3 a.m. Somehow I think they fundamentally misunderstand the idea of 24 hours. But anyway, it's been an interesting race so far. So we've got, I think, 3 different manufacturers who are trading places constantly for the lead of the LMP1 race, which is awesome. So between Ferrari, Peugeot and Toyota, which is pretty good. Porsche seem to be a little bit further down the pack after a few incidents through the early evening and seem to be fighting their way back. So maybe we'll have 4 manufacturers still fighting for that lead in the P1. Right, well, as I've got nowhere to sit down anymore, I think it's time to go back to camp and actually get some sleep, and then back up in the morning to see the end of the race. So one thing that's actually really noticeable while walking back to the campsite is these huge gaps with no noise. Because of a few very isolated rain showers early in the race and some issues behind safety cars and whole course yellows, we've had a massive attrition rate. So we've lost something like 15 of the cars that started the race already. We're not even at halfway. So the cars are all spread out around the track. It's been a few hours now since we've had a safety car, so they've spread themselves right the way out, which means you get huge gaps with no noise whatsoever, which is really strange. Right, we are into Sunday. It's just after midday, so we've got just under 4 hours of racing. There's been a little bit further attrition, but not a huge amount. Race is sort of steadied out. The weather has stayed, well, as you can see, rather nice. So we're going to go and see if we can find somewhere to perch ourselves for the last couple of hours of the race, and and see who wins, because it's still not obvious who's going to take the race. In the P1 class, it's been trading places with a couple of manufacturers all night. Noisy ones too. Continues to do so. Right, onwards. So we are an hour and a half before the end of the race. It looks like it's going to be a Ferrari finish, Toyota second. The rest of the Toyotas are out. The Cadillacs have been slow and steady, definitely the hare and the tortoise. So they've kept their noses clean, and they're going to be probably third and fourth by the looks of things right now. But the most amazing thing, we've just seen the driver getting into car 34, hopping along the pit lane. That's because in the very first section of the race, his foot was run over by a Corvette. He broke his foot, but he didn't want to go to hospital in case they stopped him driving. So he's just strapped it up, and he's getting in the car for another stint, even though he can't walk on the foot, and he's a left foot braker, and it's his left foot that's broken. What an absolute madman. And he's setting great lap times as well. Only sort of thing that happens either in motorbike racing or here at Le Mans. Amazing. And with that, the race is over. Winner of the hypercar class was the Ferrari AF Corsa, but interestingly, the Cadillacs, slow but steady, the Hare and the Tortoise, came in third after quite a slow start due to some issues for the Ferraris, the Porsches and the Toyotas. So very impressive run there by Cadillac. LMP2 was won by the 34 car, which was the one with the Italian driver with a broken foot, which is quite incredible, the Inter-Europol competition car. And finally, the LMGTE class was won by Corvette Racing. So that'll be the last outing for the Corvette, and they've won the GTE AM class. And the last outing for the GTE AM class as well, because that's all going to change next year. Right, all that's left is to go and decamp and to get on the way home. But that's the subject of the next video. So join us next time on Automotive Tales. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Next time on Automotive Tales. So it's almost a guarantee there's something attached to the back of the car, so let's go find out.